Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? This is Ip of Rage Quit TV. Gonna be casting a game between BabyKnight and Grubby. Yes, I know it's a PvP, but I think you're gonna like this game. A highlight of it was posted to Reddit. I watched about 20 seconds of that, was convinced this was gonna be a good game, so I closed it out, sent a tweet to both BabyKnight and Grubby asking for the replay, and within a few minutes, BabyKnight sent it over to me, which is just awesome because, well, there's not really any good replay sites left to get them from. Drop SC, their search function's down, and all the other ones I find just really post-tournament games, so it's really hard to find ladder games between players, which isn't a bad thing because tournament games I do like casting more, but occasionally there's ladder games are just amazing, like I have a feeling this one will be. And it is PvP early game, so not really that much to talk about. Both players throwing down the 9 pylon, will throw down the gateway at either 12 or 13. Grubby, you all know him. He's the Warcraft 3 legend, came over to StarCraft 2. BabyKnight, who you may not know, he was a Dota player, switched over to StarCraft 2 a long time ago, and I haven't seen that much from him, but everything I've seen of him is just pretty darn cool. He's got a little bit of unique playstyle, I think, that I can't really describe because I haven't watched too much of his games. Hopefully, it will show in this game. He is going to be throwing down the 13 gateway. Looks like Grubby did that as well. BabyKnight going to be scouting immediately after that, and Grubby, he is choosing not to scout after the gate, which means there is a risk of him now when he chooses to go out and scout that he won't be able to get any information because the Stalker will be out. It is Entombed Valley, a 4-player map, and BabyKnight, well, since he set it out immediately after 12, this does guarantee that he can get into Grubby's base before the Stalker comes out and will give him information so he can see where the Chrono Boosts are, if there's a 4-gate coming, or whatever is going on in Grubby's base. Grubby taking a small risk. He is sending out his probe now at 16 supply. Going to be going straight to that one watchdown. He may see this one probe. If he sees it, then he may have an idea where BabyKnight is. And he's going on that one watchtower. Does not see the probe, but he's still going to go cross-map anyways. And this will help Grubby out because he did send out the later scout. We can see his sub next score at 12 while BabyKnight's was at 7. So that small little advantage Grubby has now because he sent out a later scout and gets to BabyKnight's base actually before BabyKnight does because he scouted first and BabyKnight scouted second. Both players will be getting in, kind of seeing where the Chrono Boost is. Immediately, BabyKnight sees that second gas for Grubby. Grubby doesn't see that second gas yet, so there is a chance of 4 gates going to the Chrono Boost energy. You can see, yes, they are both saving it up a little bit. 7 next cores are going to finish this one probe. Probably going to go back to that 7 next core, try to see where a Chrono Boost is used. That second simulator has finished. There we go, goes in. Doesn't see the Chrono Boost on anything yet, so he's got to be wondering what Grubby is saving it for. Grubby, meanwhile, is chased out by both a probe and a zealot. And seeing this second gas, it's looking like it's going to be a 1-gate robo-type build from Grubby. We do have the probe now. Going to be leaving the base lane, the shields recharge, so he can take 2 hits from the zealot and will be getting on out. Meanwhile, the zealot does keep on going from BabyKnight. Grubby staying on this one watchtower, and that is so he can see the probe. He needs to see this one probe because if he does and he knows there's not any forward pylons coming on out, keep in mind that I don't think Grubby saw that second gas, so the chance of a 4-gate is still there. Sees this one probe, and now seeing the probe go all the way back home, it kind of tells Grubby, okay, chances are you're not going to be 4-gaming because you would have thrown down some type of forward pylon. Now we do have a Zealot and Stalker versus a Zealot and Stalker. Grubby does kill that one Zealot first, and now the Stalker chasing Grubby. Stalker here is going to be keep on going. We do have another Stalker coming out from BabyKnight, but also from Grubby as well. He is trying to intercept that one, and this one Stalker is injured. BabyKnight Stalker just gaining shields, going to be at full health, and now Grubby sees this one Stalker going to turn around. This is going to eventually run into a dead end, and this one Stalker does actually get picked off. BabyKnight finding this one, saying, well, I'm just going to turn around and kill you, and will be getting it. Zealot is going to be going back. Grubby, meanwhile, going to be sending this one Stalker out to try to scout BabyKnight, see what information is there. But BabyKnight does have a Stalker waiting at this one ramp. So Grubby taking a lot of losses. Lost a Zealot, a Stalker, and may lose the second Stalker. Sees this one, and now is just going to keep on going along, trying to keep this alive. BabyKnight going to come up the ramp with 2 Stalkers. Grubby doesn't have that much to defend. A Robo facility is out. Warp gate's just finished, so he will be able to defend this. May take a few worker losses. One probe does go down. Next one taking hits and immediately pulling them back off. 2 more Stalkers warped in. It looks like 3 probes did end up meeting their death. But a Immortal is on the way by both of these players. 2 more gates on the way for BabyKnight. Now he's going to be getting his Robo Bay. So he will be going up into Colossus, and Grubby doesn't have the Robo Bays, just getting more Immortals out. Going to be throwing up another gateway to make it at 3 gates as well. So both these players will be at 3 gateways. This one Stalker over here looked like it did get picked off, but Grubby does have 3 Stalkers versus 3. And keep in mind, this one was injured, and he joined the fight last, so he gets less shots off. So Grubby now taking out 2 Stalkers for 1. Meanwhile, a probe coming up really wants to get some type of scouting information, or maybe just going to throw up a forward pylon of his own, saying, okay, I'm going to be going for this attack. Does leave his base with 2 sentries, and Immortal will have some warpins over here. And keep in mind, there were 2 Stalkers right at this one watchtower. So Grubby going to be doing an attack against BabyKnight, and BabyKnight did get that Robo Bay. So, well, he's going to be a little bit more invested in his I guess, tech, while Grubby isn't. So Grubby may have the small advantage despite losing more resources than BabyKnight. He will have a small army advantage, I believe, in this fight, as long as these Stalkers do not get picked off. Zealot taking some hits, and there we go. 2 Immortals, though, versus just the 1 of Grubby. So BabyKnight actually has a huge advantage right here. Zealot's now going to be targeting Grubby's Immortal, and that one Immortal is going to be able to get taken on out. Grubby's Immortal, however, is getting attacked by Zealots. The next Immortal may get taken out as well. Does get picked up in a Warp Prism, and Grubby does save his 1 Immortal. And taking out these Zealots, going over into the Lost tab. I was already there. It is completely even. Force Field goes down at that 1 ramp. Grubby does have a Warp Prism now on the way over to the battle, and will be picking up his Immortal with 2 Stalkers. Wants to engage this before that shield recharges. Will be dropping right on top of it. BabyKnight warping in some more Zealots, and Grubby is up the ramp now, unloading. There is a Warp Prism by both players. 2 Zealots inside of BabyKnight. BabyKnight pulling a lot of workers. Grubby warping in a few units. Force Field does go down. Try to keep that sentry, I guess, out of range, or maybe the Immortal out of range. Nice micro by Grubby right now on his Immortal and that 1 Warp Prism. And a lot of probes have gone down. I don't know exactly how many have. And now picking that back up whenever it takes damage. He's just lifting it up, trying to minimize any damage and making BabyKnight force target. The Colossus is popping out now, and with that Colossus, he should be able to hold on, but Grubby's micro is great, but that Immortal does fall. And BabyKnight going to be picking up the Colossus with his 1 Warp Prism. Grubby now going to try to go on the other side, try to kill more probes in that battle. Holy cow, 14 workers killed, going over into the units tab. We do see 26 probes for Grubby, 18 for BabyKnight. So Grubby has a pretty big economic advantage going over into this income tab. You can see not as big as you would think, because, well, actually, 250 minerals in PvP is a lot. I expect to be a little bit bigger, but, well, that is still a large advantage right now. Grubby does not want to lose his 1 forward pylon. Going to be dropping, killing that 1 sentry. Mortal versus 2 Stalkers and 2 Zealots with that 1 Warp Prism. Grubby is easily able to hold that off, but 3 more Stalkers coming in. This 1 Warp Prism with a Colossus is going to be going over into Grubby's base, flies over top of those units. Does not actually poke Grubby, and, well, Grubby not responding to this. That Colossus getting a few shots on the probes, killing 1 right now, and now going to go over those Stalkers. Meanwhile, we do have this 1 Warp Prism for Grubby. May go into the base, try to do some harassment. Stalkers just now focusing on that 1 Warp Prism, knowing if they don't kill it, the Colossus will just pick up. The Colossus is actually getting quite a few kills. He is up to 7 right now. Warp Prism does pick that up and immediately leave the base. We do have the food actually quite even, 49 to 42. 24 probes versus 26, so it looks like BabyKnight may have used a few current boost on his Nexus to catch back up. Or maybe BabyKnight killed a lot of workers. No, only 7 to 14. BabyKnight trying to take out that 1 pylon for Grubby, but Grubby saying nope, nope, gonna use this 1 Warp Prism. And, well, it does fall. He got a few shots off on that Immortal, but not even getting the shields out. The Warp Prism does manage to escape. We do have the 1 Warp Prism from BabyKnight. Actually let the Colossus on out. Observer right here, just seeing what's going on. Try to get another forward pylon, and I think that would allow him to warp in up here, but did get scouted right away. BabyKnight with his 1 Warp Prism going to go do some harassment, getting that Colossus count up very high. 2 Colossus right now versus no Colossus. Grubby does have the Immortal advantage, and we actually have BabyKnight hunting down this 1 Warp Prism, letting the Stalkers drop, picking them back up, and going to keep on chasing this 1 Warp Prism. Who needs Blink when you have a Warp Prism? Getting Thermal Lance, knocking that Warp Prism speed from that Robo Bay. Grubby does have a Robo Bay as well, as he started his Colossus production, but it's so much later. We have another Warp Prism from Grubby. That is 2 Warp Prisms out. Going to try to micro both of these against BabyKnight. Though, keep in mind, the 1 Observer can see this. He sees, okay, there's not that many Stalkers, so this can do quite a bit of damage. We do have the 1 Warp Prism from BabyKnight coming up here. Going to be unloading, getting a few shots off. Going to try to kill Grubby's Warp Prism. Grubby may just be letting that take shots, and does fall, and BabyKnight loses nothing. Meanwhile, we do have those Immortals right there, picking off a few probes, targeting the ones on gas. It looks like Gonna be going on up, trying to get those Colossus taken care of, and that one just barely lives. Going over to it, it's put away, and will he get it? It's so close, he's just dancing that around, but no, Stalkers are warped in, and Grubby does end up leaving. This one Warp Prism is hunting it down with those Stalkers in it, but Grubby gonna take a detour, start attacking this one Nexus. Can he get this down? This will be huge if he does. If he doesn't, he's gonna be a little bit behind because his minerals have to be getting a little low. Gonna let those Immortals drop, try to pick off that one Colossus. Looks like he actually got it. There's only 2 Colossus here. Going in his count. Yep, 2 Colossus, so he did pick off the 1 Colossus. Whoopin' does come and will not get the 1 Warp Prism. He is being hunted down by this one, and the Warp Prism he sees it. He's going to go into no man's land, and now BabyKnight cannot take out that 1 Warp Prism. Meanwhile, Grubby, he's got to attack now because he knows BabyKnight has a base up, while Grubby, his base is almost mined out. He doesn't have that many minerals left, only about 250 per patch, and that is being generous. Going in this army supply, it is 51 to 46. BabyKnight will get 1 more round of units in, and we do have the final battle probably going on. Guardian Shield does go down, and the Stalkers falling first, but Grubby has 2 Colossus now versus the 3 of BabyKnight. Warp Prism for BabyKnight does come in, and where'd Grubby's Warp Prism go? It looks like that did get picked on off. Colossus doing the best to micro back, but 42 supplied to 75. The person with more Colossus does win. And let's watch what happened to Grubby's Warp Prism. Okay. So he's got the 1 Immortal in there. They found it. He's leaving, going across the middle. Tries to sneak it, and... oh, it did make its way in the battle. Okay. But it doesn't even get to drop the Immortal, and that would have been a huge if he got that Immortal down. I don't know if it would have changed the course of the game. Colossus are very good once you have more than your opponent. And Grubby, does he have Thunderlance? No, he did not have Thunderlance during the battle. So that's also one thing. The Colossus for BabyKnight could be sitting in the back and deal a little bit more damage. But you know what, guys? We do have SC2 gears up and operational. How about that? Let's go to main building control, looking at all the Chrono Boosts. So, let's see. The Nexus didn't get Chrono Boosted by BabyKnight, so he didn't Chrono Boost it to catch up. That's just Grubby not building workers. So let's go over into the builds tech, and we will search for enable workers, trains, and filter only probe. So we can see during this time, BabyKnight is building probes, and that's after Grubby's harassment, I think. Or maybe just had a lot more. Keep in mind, he did lose, I think it was 14, so... this is what the probe build looks like. You can see BabyKnight focusing a lot more on getting a lot of those out because he did have intentions of taking a base. Grubby didn't really, after losing all those Stalkers, then going, in the early game, he lost 2 or 3 Stalkers for not doing that much damage. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to hope he does this and invest a lot more in economy and the RoboBay and tech than I do, and I can do a lot of damage. He didn't really get a lot of damage done. So he came back and then waited for BabyKnight to take an expansion. And he's like, okay, now I'm going to try to do damage again and just win the game. So that may be why Grubby kind of slacked on those workers, saying, yeah, I don't plan on taking an Expo this game. I want to end it when he does. Going back into this, we'll take the filter off. Overall, we do have... okay. I guess I have to click on it to do that. 21 Chronos versus 18, so BabyKnight did Chrono Boost a little bit more than Grubby. And that's something I want to do. Like, I want to look at a lot more PvPs and look at if there's a trend, whoever Chronos more wins. Because I think that would just be interesting. So we'll go over the APM tab so we can see the Micro 120, Macro 50, Micro 97, Macro 24. Keep in mind, Grubby did not build a lot of probes, which may be why that is lower than normal. But I want to show you guys something else. Let's go filter actions, Warp Prism. Ooh, and now we can see the micro of the Warp Prism for BabyKnight was definitely more, which is a little bit odd because at times Grubby did have 2 Warp Prisms out in the field, but that was only a very little amount of time. And it also questions that 1 Warp Prism, the extra one he did end up getting. How many did they build? Let's look at that. We'll look at that before I go talking about that. So Grubby built 2, BabyKnight built 1. So this extra Warp Prism will go take this highlight off, and I bet BabyKnight was building a Colossus during this one time. So 12, 17, take that out, undo the filter, and yes, he was. So that second warp prism for Grubby, because, well, it's the time on his Robo facility, means he can't produce an Immortal or a Colossus. And meanwhile, BabyKnight got the Colossus. So I find that always interesting. One thing, yeah, Colossus is a lot more expensive than the Warp Prism, but when building units, you gotta take in factor what they're preventing you from building. Because I bet at, let's go to 1153, when Grubby built that second Warp Prism, did he have enough to build a Colossus? Yes, I'm aware he probably doesn't have the Robo Bay, but we'll see if he had the minerals extra, the extra 150, 200 gas, I think that would be. So 1153, go to 11 minutes, and then fast forward. See what he had. 1142. Okay. Oh, Grubby actually got Warp Prism speed. Did he get it? No, he ended up getting Warp Prism speed. I actually missed that. Both of them ended up having speed on their Warp Prisms. Sorry, guys. So, has that queued up. And is building this one Warp Prism. He's only 17 gas away from building a Colossus. So, yes, by getting this one Warp Prism, he is delaying his Colossus production by quite a bit. 50 seconds, that's a long build time. Immortal does have 55, Observer 30. But by building that extra Warp Prism, he is saying, okay, not going to be building that Colossus, which, in the end, BabyKnight had one more Colossus than Grubby. But then he wouldn't have had that Immortal Harass to kill one Colossus, so I don't know how that would have changed the game, I guess. But always something to think about, because BabyKnight's seen that second Warp Prism, then he knows Grubby's Colossus count is a lot lower. So he doesn't have to scout Grubby to know, oh, you're not building Colossus yet, you built another Warp Prism. So something to keep in mind. There's not too much else to talk about in this game, I think. Down to my curiosity, let's see. Can we filter actions for the Warp Prism? And then can we overlay another chart? And does this take that? Unfortunately it does. What I was hoping I could do is get two graphs up comparing both the Warp Prism micro and the macro. So, we know BabyKnight, I can't even do that. We'll go over the build stack real quick. Take that filter off. Let's search for tier 1 and 1.5. I can't do that. If I hold shift, will it do both? No, it won't. Okay. I wish there was a quick way to do any unit that came out of a gateway. But, yep, that'll be the game. Hope you guys did enjoy it. And as always, subscribe if you like the cast. Take care, and I will see you next time.